the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
Rex.
Today we've got a magnificent bastard, Adam Lavalley.
Lavalley?
Lavalley.
Adam Lavalley, you magnificent bastard.
And a flavored whiskey gift from a magnificent bastard, Penni Kite.
Penni Kite, you magnificent bastard.
You know what I mean the week for? Something from Canada.
Blaming Canada.
We're going to go with a classic because we're also going to try a little gift that I wouldn't do for its own.
Okay.
Do you want to finish with the weird thing from Penni Kite, which is a maple rye? As in maple syrup
Sure.
rye?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to
Was
set
it
that
in
aside.
just in maple barrels? What was the
No,
situation?
they actually mixed together maple
Did
syrup.
they
in it.
distill rye or not rye? Maple syrup? Did they distill? They distilled maple syrup.
No, they didn't distill it. They mixed it with rye.
Oh, so it's a very much a flavored whiskey.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, but we're gonna start with Adam Lavalley's. Oh God, what a mess of. Oh, sorry.
But all the beautiful wax.
Sorry, James. Who has to? Oh God, that's gonna be a train wreck. Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Knob Creek single barrel. I got something to talk about with this one because it makes me laugh, but it has nothing to do with whether or not this is good.
Okay.
So let's try this first. We know we love Knob Creek. And this is a single barrel release, 120 proof, selected by the Red Wagon shop, spelled with 2 P's and an E. And that's how you know they take their shit seriously.
I get a woody rose honey. Yeah.
Rose honey?
Yeah. Well, sure. It's more of like what you imagine roses to smell like, even though they don't smell that amazing.
So like, if whiskey smelled like a rose looks.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the
And it was
woodiness.
laid in a charred open barrel as like the carrying container.
Yes.
And you're delivering a cut piece of charred wood.
Then you drizzle honey on it. Yeah.
Because you always drizzle honey on flower deliveries. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, it's the most romantic of all deliveries.
Everyone's like, oh, thank you. Oh. Oh, and they're trying to drop it and the flowers are sticking to their hands.
It's symbolic for the love. You can't get rid of it.
Oh, God. I don't think that's...
Cling. You can't
These
get
are the
rid
kind
of
of
it.
people who request Every Breath You Take as their wedding song, which I've had multiple times as a musician.
Yeah.
People request me to play that song at their wedding, and I'm like, no, adamantly refuse. Go read the lyrics.
Because
This is not a romantic
the
song.
wedding day was about you.
This was
Maybe they were a stalker who
who
lucked
made
out.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's
it was the
a
one
song
time-
of hope for all stalkers out there. If you just
It can
wait
work.
around long enough.
Yeah, never leave
They'll
the
give
window.
up
Never leave the window.
marry you.
Eventually they'll come around.
Oh, this is not a good recommendation.
Yeah, you should have played the song. This though, I haven't tasted. Have you tasted?
No, it just smelled, but it's very rich and oily in the nose.
Yeah, I mean, not surprised. It's a very high proof, not because it's sharp ethanol, but because of just the volume of those flavors. Very potent, very intense, very good.
I am getting a very perfumey sweetness.
Like a rosy perfume.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with that.
Then there's a creaminess to it.
I haven't gotten there yet, but
Yeah.
maybe it's in the palate. It is soft. That's a nice palate. It's very simple. It's more simple than I thought it was going to be.
It's soft
For the nose.
For the proof.
And for the proof. And for the nose.
If somebody's not used to 100.
Yeah, that'll punch a little.
Yeah, they're not thinking soft. And it is simple. Yeah, it's very familiar, very simple. What's going on here? We have a very, almost an astringent tea.
It is
On the finish. Yeah,
overly steeped
Yep.
black tea.
it's the finish. It doesn't land very sweet and creamy. It lands with a bit of a dryness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black tea bitter.
Yeah.
So here's the funny thing about this one. So this is a program that Knob Creek has, right? And by the way, the mash bill for the Knob Creek is $75.13.12.
Oh.
Just saying.
Oh.
So
So whoever's maybe
totally
watching
unrelated.
something in the
Yeah,
previous episode, maybe. So, real quick, I'm trying to find some commonalities.
Yeah.
Because we just had that from the previous episode. It's different.
It's totally different.
It's very different.
It may not be the same thing. Who knows? Maybe other distilleries are doing
It's very different. I mean, it's not completely alien. Go ahead.
Here's the funny thing. So if you go to the Knob Creek website, I don't know whose idea, some web designer thought it would be a great idea to embed reviews into the website of the product.
Okay.
Right?
Like what kind of
just like consumer reviews. So you can go onto the website and there's even a link, write a review.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the irony is
this
is on a single barrel.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a single barrel.
And it's called the Single Barrel Program.
Right.
And so it's a landing page where every store can pick their own single barrel. So you're not reviewing objective single barrels. You just whichever one you got.
Right.
And you're going to put a review in.
Right.
It could be 50 different choices. They're all going to taste different, right?
Yeah.
And there's some negative reviews. And they're on the site.
Yeah.
1 star. This tasted terrible. I regret buying it.
Right.
I wish I hadn't. And I keep thinking like somewhere somebody wrote up this idea.
Right.
On what do you call the journeys when you're charting out the webs?
Not fully understanding what single barrel is.
Yeah.
And the variation you get from barrel to barrel.
Yeah.
I do have respect whenever somebody puts something out there and they're not gaming the system
they're
to
just
only
letting it
be
land.
4 and 5 star reviews.
Yeah.
So respect there, but the entire premise is a little bit flawed because of the single barrel nature.
This barrel's terrible.
Right.
It's disgusting. I regret buying it. I wish I had my money back.
Right. That does remind me. I forget his name. There's somebody in our Patreon who always leaves the same comment.
Oh, yeah.
He always ends with such and such. Here's a comment. You guys doing great. 3 out of 5 stars. Wouldn't change a thing.
3 out of 5 stars. Every time.
Wouldn't change a thing.
Wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
You know Dad's 2 favorite reviews? I think I've told you about this. I don't know if it's on camera.
Mm-hmm.
The first one for his Amazon book. My dad's a fiction author, among other things.
Yeah.
One of them was 1 star review. Didn't have time to read this book.
That's very good.
The other one was 1 star review. This is not the book I ordered. so Amazon fucked up a delivery.
Right.
And they went out of their way to go to the original author's landing page.
Very good.
And leave a 1 star review.
That's a very good. Yeah. So it's good.
Yeah, I prefer the classic Knob Creek.
Yeah, I think so too. I think in the lower proofs it does feel a little bit more balanced with some nice effortless flavors. I think the main thing is I'm not in love with how it finishes, how it shifts gears.
Very bitter.
Into, pretty bitter. Into that dry, barrel bitter, overly steeped tea type of finish.
Let's do Penni Kite's little spirit here.
And you didn't want to do like
Canadian whiskey.
I mean, just give me
and a maple rye.
And an episode.
We'll talk about it, but yeah, I'm not going to give it its own episode because too many people are sending in flavored stuff, and then we have to have a whole new channel.
We get to.
No.
We get
on flavored spirits.
I drug you.
Have to.
I drugged you, kicking and screaming into an episode in the Tribe channel. Didn't tell you what the hell was going to go down. Didn't tell you what was going to go down because we did some episodes in here, and you wouldn't even drink the flavor.
Well, no, I did.
Wouldn't
I didn't like that.
Would not even drink.
But I gotta tell you, I still do that salted caramel Crown Royal.
I'm telling you.
In coffee.
So we went through 9 or 10 things. And in the 9 or 10 things, there were at least 2, maybe 3.
There were 3.
Yeah, where you begrudgingly.
And they were true. They were horrible.
You begrudgingly sit down,
yeah.
And I force you to drink them, and there was a genuine. Oh damn!
I remember 2
this
for sure
really
that I
nice.
Still drink.
Yeah,
and I think there was a 3rd that I remember liking. But that's that.
But this has a 1 out of 5 chance, 1 out of 4 chance of being.
I think the Knob Creek Maple was one of the ones I actually ended up kind of liking.
Okay. Maybe blend them together.
Of all the brands.
Blend them together.
Yeah, a little dash of maple, a little maple syrup, old fashioned.
It's just creamy caramel, vanilla sweet.
Also kind of burnt wood. Are you getting sort of a charred wood note?
Little bit of a fresh, burnt, ashy smoke that's thrown into the air with that sweetness. I gotta tell you though.
I wonder why that's coming from.
It's good. I expect the taste to be cloyingly sweet, even though I say the word cloyingly, only being 80% sure I know what it means.
Like a cloister?
Yes. But it's gonna be so sweet. But I think the flavor could be nice. This is not.
What are your bets? More candied and flavored, or more whiskey?
Oh, candied and flavored all day.
Okay.
But I'm thinking this may be the kind of thing where it's intended to be on ice. I don't think stuff like that is generally a neat pour.
So from what I looked up, this is Alberta
Okay.
Distillery. So this is a Canadian rye.
Yeah.
Actual rye whiskey. Maple syrup.
Honestly,
I didn't know you could get maple syrup in Canada.
yeah, I thought it was usually like, I don't know, Massachusetts thing or something.
Yeah, maybe they heard about it like
Yeah.
corner stores or
I
something.
mean, if there's anything to be said about the Canadian people, especially when it comes to maple syrup, they just like to copy other people.
Yeah, they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, it's kind of like what the Chinese did to manufacturing. And
They buy all their trees at Home Depot in the garden section.
Yeah. They hire Americans to come do it well.
Yeah, though, you know that mostly Vermont. That's actually the biggest export of Vermont is people
Yeah.
going to Canada to teach them about maple syrup.
No, there is a bit of a kind of a shell game.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these shady Canadian companies, they don't want you to know that they got it from American maple producers. So they don't.
It's like a 5 changing hands, S corp, and
big
a trust.
fans of transparency, and you know, if you're going to source something, great. It's even better if you're going to do something to it to make it special. But just the Canadian people, they just don't have that. I don't know, that base morality or sense of ethics that
or kindness even.
Yeah,
just a
very rude people.
Just a socially reasonable level of kindness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's delicious.
It's so sweet though, man.
It's very sweet.
It tastes like it's half simple syrup.
It's mostly maple syrup.
Wow.
It feels like. But damn, if that wouldn't go on pancakes, like
really good.
So good.
Yeah, drunk breakfast.
Oh.
How
high is the proof on it? It's 40.
Oh.
It's 81 proof. It's
Wow.
40% alcohol.
That's a real
40.5.
Okay.
That's no joke.
It's so sugary sweet. This has to go on ice.
The aftertaste is that metallic
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah.
Do you think they added extra sugar and maple syrup, or just that much maple syrup?
I'm saying it does seem like half simple syrup. The other half maple flavoring.
Oh, man.
Honestly, the whiskey is the most hidden. I could drink this and it's like, oh, this is a flavored thing. Obviously, a lot of maple. There's a lot of brown sugar too.
Or like a really alcoholic maple. That's all it tastes like. Like you could just add it to vodka and you'd get the same effect.
If they got maple syrup and brown sugar, a trace of caramel, and then there's like a tiniest bit of wood in there, but it's just so sweet. This is the dessert drink that I think would be a lot better on ice. But honestly, I've had a lot worse flavored whiskeys.
Yeah.
This is not even in the bottom 50%.
Nope, not even close.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got comments. I forgot about comments.
Aractor Whiskey Trio pairing ideas. I'm hosting a whiskey tasting with friends and friends of friends next month. I want to offer a trio tasting. What bourbon or rye, Irish, and Scotch trio should I pair together? Interesting.
So my rule is always
I don't know. Real
pick
quick.
a theme.
Yes, I don't know if those three really have a good pairing approach. Maybe a comparative.
An order. They have an order.
A comparative approach.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a pairing approach.
But I always say pick a theme, literally anything. The color green, and you only buy 3 bottles who have green in the label. I mean, it can be any kind of pairing, and then force yourself to work inside those boundaries and come up with the story for why you picked those things. And it gets really fun when you do that. Instead of like trying to make some sort of whiskey sense, you know?
Yeah.
So in that case, now what I would say would be cool.
Yeah.
Sherry cask. The impact of a
sherry
cask
cask
on all
across-
3 categories.
across categories.
It's like a sherry cask bourbon, a sherry cask Scotch, a sherry cask Irish, rum.
Yeah.
Angel's Envy, a rum, Tullamore rum cask,
Yeah.
Balvenie rum, Caribbean rum.
Yeah.
Like that
That's a good
kind of
idea.
thing could be super cool.
That's a good idea. This has so much sweetness in it, the maple.
I went back to the Knob Creek.
It has so much sweetness that in the South we have sweet tea. And you make sweet tea by basically pouring a bunch of sugar in there, like tons of sugar. And then you heat it up so that even though there was just sugar that didn't get absorbed by the water, the sloshing around in the bottom, if you heat up that liquid, it can become super saturated, and then the molecules expand to make room for all the sugar. This is that level of sweet. Like it was super saturated, heated up liquid to get even more sugar injected in there. Yeah, I don't jam with that level of sweetness, but it could be a nice little dessert sipping thing.
Going back to the Knob Creek is really nice now.
You should blend that.
Bitey. No. But I will put water in the Knob Creek.
I'm putting them together. I'm blending them.
Ooh, that was a...
Nicholas de Valerouvel. Hi. The most heavily sherried scotch. What is the most heavily sherried scotch? Looking for something to help add sherry into my infinity bottle. We just put some sherry in there, man.
My favorite recommendations are Benriach,
Yeah.
Avalor, and Glendronach. Those are my 3 favorite heavily sherried scotch.
Relatively small amount and hoping for a good impact. Sweetness and just add a little bit. As far as flavor is concerned, it's kind of the middle of the road. Not the bottom half, but like a 5 or 6 out of 10.
And as far as Knob Creeks, I prefer the classic Knob Creek.
The classic. Also, if you have an idea for what the trio tasting should be in the M.B.s question, then let us know. Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight, may you fight for a friend.
Steal, may you steal your liver's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink.